So Freddy Krueger just got ripped apart, then we got Marilyn Manson. Yeah.
Rebel, bitch, rebel, panic.
Then we see the Candyman and titties. Then nothing happens for 30 minutes.
Then blood, guts and gore.
Then nothing happens for 20 minutes.
Then blood, gore, kill, stabby, slash, who, Then they all live happily ever after.
No, they don't. They all get ripped to bits.
She's an absolute religious nut with an overly incestuous brother. Then nothing happens for 30 minutes.
Then she bites off a guy's cock with a foof.
Nom, 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 nom.
Then she bites off a gynecologist's fingers. She should have seen a dentist. Then she buys her brother's winky off and feeds it to a dog.
Basically, it's a 93-minute promo for bum sex.
Poltergeist 2015.
It's literally a completely unnecessary remake.
To be fair, the actor was quite good. The kids were good.
But the drone footage inside the wardrobe was very good.
It's not that bad, but the original's far better.
The extra ending was pretty good too.
This was really good.
Really claustrophobic, really kind of isolated, it all gets under your skin.
I especially like the fire-burning car thing, that was good.
Jump scare! I thought it was a bit like National Treasure meets Amityville Horror. Another jump scare!
It did kind of lose something towards the end when you see the hooded thing.
The other things that were kind of annoying was like jump scares.
Yeah, another jump scare! So we got Jason Mewes and Henry Rollins.
Oh, hell yeah!
But Jay gets his face ripped off and Rollins gets used as a battering ram. They said it was like Evil Dead, but in a Canyon Country bar with like nasty Trevor geeks trying to eat everybody. When they finally break into the bar, they're like... Basically everybody gets ripped to bits and a couple of them survive to the end. Marvellous. So Frodo Baggins gets a job as a substitute teacher. The kids eat some crazy chicken nuggets and then go all zombie-like.
But then they lock themselves inside and nothing happens.
Then the zombie kids break in.
And it's death, kill, baseball, stabby, slashy, hockey sticks to death,
They finally manage to break out of the school and make it into the town, but it turns out it's a massive pandemic.
They all end up in a jungle gym and burn the living snot out of all the kids. Good call.
So it's a musical. Got boobies! It's one of the biggest pieces of trash I've ever seen in my life. And it's fun as hell.
So we got topless lesbians, talking burgers, protected sex with chickens, titty vomiting, like covering a skirt, and killing mutant chickens.
Loads of insane gore.
Everything a growing boy needs. And lots of boobies.
A feel-good family romp if ever I saw one. So some chick called Angela's brother dies in a horrific boating accident and 8 years later she decides to go to camp.
So she boils a chef, guts a girl in the shower, kills a guy hidden under a canoe, and curling irons a girl to death.
But we're not supposed to know it's Angela that's done it yet. The twist ending is that it turns out it's Angela that's done everything. But also, she's got a winky. So, the ABCs of death. There's a lot of weird-ass art house crap in there. There's a couple of really good ones. Split was good, Zygote was good, Torture Porn, which was a serious Lovecraft rip-off. And it ends with an Asian chick giving the finger from a foof.
But Equilibrium was awesome.
There was, however, one slight cock-up. I watched the wrong friggin' film. So after a hilariously bad intro, some chick's sister dies and with a group of friends decide to contact her using a Ouija board.
And it's so boring.
Long story short, they end up getting haunted by some kind of ghost mother. The ghost gets taken out by the sister that died at the start of the film.
Hasbro should really stick to making toys.
And Lynch here, I love you, but stop appearing in this sort of crap. Okay? It starts out like a typical zombie flick, but then we get titties. When your top-billed actress is Jenna Jameson, it should give you an idea of how quality the acting is.
It's really bad.
So the plot kind of goes like this. Zombies, titties, zombies, titties, zombies, titties. It's storytelling that rivals the likes of Tolstoy or Chaucer. The guy was great, and Robert Englund's cool, but not enough to save it. And zombie titties? Sure, okay. So an expected couple get attacked by some crazy bint and then she dies and possesses a toy doll. It's a bit like Child's Play but on Valium. The plot is basically a complete rip-off of Ghostbusters 2.
Hell, Vigo.
It's so predictable, so boring, so cliched and ram-packed with lazy-ass jump scares. And the acting is more wooden than the frigging doll. Chucky needs to kick this chick's upholstered ass. Well, first of all, that kid is an awesome actress. Yes, Katie Holmes gets schooled by a 10-year-old. It's a typical haunted house setup but with killer tooth fairies. No, really. Slow movie at the start out, but it's so beautiful you really don't care. And except for Katie Holmes being wooden as chuck, everything else is really good. And annoyingly, I have no bad things to say about this film. Just go watch it. But this is what I look like with pigtails. So a guy's searching Canada to interview weirdos for his podcast. He meets this weird old hermit who wants to turn him into a walrus. I am the Eggman! And basically it's the same plot as the Human Centipede.
Bit lazy there, Silent Bob.
It's really stupid, really pointless, and Johnny Depp's character is a showstopper.
And not in a good way.
If your idea of a good movie is watching a guy getting turned into a walrus, rock on. So Jack Bauer gets a job as a late-night security guard. He takes some drugs and starts seeing weird crap in mirrors.
Could it be ghosts?
Turns out that the mirrors have demons trapped inside. And it's a good setup, it's got some really imaginative kills in there. When the chick rips off her jaw.
That's awesome.
It's a good story, it's well acted, it's well directed. Good flick. Surprisingly lackluster for a Del Toro movie. There's about two little girls that have grown up in the wild and become feral. A bit like Margot Kidder, and they have a ghostly mother that looks after them. It's a good setup, but the effects are so incredibly fake. They make Mickey Rourke's face look genuine. And disappointingly, it's really nothing special. So some chick starts getting visions about her unborn twin that's saying he's ready to be born. He's called Jumbe. It's an absolute senseless mess of a movie. It's so boring! It's got the laziest cheap-ass jump scares, the worst plot, garbage effects. It's so bad that not even Gary Oldman or Idris Elba could save it. It feels like I've had 100 minutes of my life stolen. The Unborn? Nil point. So, it's a movie take on the likes of Most Haunted. It's a great satire on supernatural reality shows.
And it's really not bad.
It's self-aware, it's a little slow at points, but it moves at a really good pace. And it doesn't rely on jump scares.
Hallelujah!
And it's a good mix of funny and scary. It's actually not a bad film as long as you don't mind watching shaky cam. Definitely not a perfect movie, but worth a watch. So, some chick in a wheelchair finds old videos of a dead mother.
It's so slow.
After an assload of textbook cliches, it turns out she's actually haunting herself. If you can get past all the cliches, there's actually some good bits in there.
Meh.
And if you can manage to stick around to the end, it's got quite a good twist.
No spoilers.
Yeah, it's a slow burner, but it's not awful.
Voodoo, hoodoo, everybody you do.
So, a group of kids throw a Halloween party in an old funeral home.
Taste that cheesy 80s goodness.
And one by one the kids get slowly turned into demons. It's a bit like Evil Dead meets Return of the Living Dead. It's got ham over the top acting, a pumping soundtrack, and some awesome practical beautiful gore. And a nice sprinkling of boobies. You know, it's top-notch schlock horror. Another sung Halloween classic. Check this mother out. So, some chick's mother dies who's a former scream queen. She and some friends end up in one of her mum's old slasher movies. It's really quite clever. Basically, it's Friday the 13th and its last action hero. And it's funny as hell. The only thing that lets it down are the effects. Other than that, it's easily one of the best horror films I've seen in years. It's the surprise hit of the Halloween Horrorthon. It's just a shame it's limited by the PG-13 rating, otherwise it could have been an instant classic. So, a pair of dim-witted metalheads decide to release demons into the world. And it's Kiwi. The whole movie is basically gore and knob gags. I'm okay with that. It does suffer from a lack of horror, it's a bit slow and it does get a bit too stupid at times. Too many knob gags. Sometimes the humor really works and sometimes it really doesn't. But the soundtrack is awesome. Yeah. And if they know where to draw the line between horror and comedy, could have been an instant classic. WWE Studios. Yay. And Karen Gillan. Yay. So there's another killer mirror. Ugh. The whole movie is merely exposition with very little substance. The story goes back and forth more than a horny dog's arse. It is an interesting character piece, but you always know how it's going to end. She's not crazy. Yeah, it's well cast, it's well acted, but it's a whole lot of nothing. So some chick starts a late shift in the police station. Fresh idea. Kudos. Turns out there were some devil worshippers who killed themselves in one of the cells. You guessed it. She gets tormented by the ghost. It's a slow burn at a start, but it does pick up speed. It does verge on being boring. The sound design is awesome, the acting is good, and the creep factor is really high. But it's all let down by the laziest, most predictable, cliched horror ending ever. Don't waste your time. So, some chick. Why is it always women? Gets a job looking after a satanic cult's home. It's got a cool 70s look. And the movie kind of goes like this. Nothing happens, nothing happens, nothing happens, it's over. The last 10 minutes are good, but it's too little too late. Basically, it's a watered down version of Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, the entire movie is basically just a waste of 90 minutes of your life. Garbage. So some guy called Duncan finds out he's got polyps up his butt. But, turns out he's carrying a demon baby. This would be Milo. Basically, Milo kills anybody that stresses him out, so he's got to bond with him to stop him from killing. It's so funny. The whole film feels like an April Fool's joke on Ken Marino. It's quite funny. Demon up the butt. It's like an 80s B movie, it's ridiculous and so much fun. So it's a movie about a sexually transmitted demon. Okay. It's surprisingly good, the atmosphere and tension are top notch. It's a slow burner, but in all the right ways. Never gets too boring. It's a fresh idea, it's new, it's cool. Originality, yay! The only problem is the film doesn't really seem to end, it just kind of does this. Do you think we got rid of it? So some chick joins an activist group to help protect rainforests in Peru, but it doesn't quite go to plan. She and the group crash in the rainforest and end up getting savaged by the tribes they were trying to protect. Definitely inspired by Cannibal Holocaust. It takes a while to get going, but when it does, it's like an orgy of gore. A gorgy, if you will. There's really not much to say, it's a typical Eli Roth gore flick. Very little plot and loads of practical gore. So it's a prequel to Dracula. They may have got a few things wrong, and it's made like a superhero flick. Imagine an Aragorn backstory where he gets turned into a super badass vampire. And it's all really well made, well acted, and the art direction's beautiful. But it is a shame though, because the whole movie leads to a really stupid climax. You know what, it could have been great if it wasn't so dumb. So it's about goblins, not trolls, who are vegetarians. Huh? Who turn the inhabitants of Nilbog, I see what you did there, into plants so they can eat them. Genius! It's a mesmerising mess of the absolute worst of every aspect of filmmaking. It's a true masterpiece of failure that needs to be seen to be believed. It's as close to perfection as a bad movie can be. It's a must-see movie. So Bruce Campbell's back. I think it just cured him out of impotence. Kicking Deadite ass just like he used to. Groovy. The plot is he's drunkenly read from the Necronomicon and now the Deadites have found him. Where she's so crazy. And there's also some cop whose partner gets turned into a Deadite. But we don't care about her. They kind of set up Ash to be douchier than ever, but then he finds his trusty boomstick and chainsaw. Mangasm. Ash is back. Hail to the king, baby.